Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my October TBR. So, mostly this will be Victober reads, and then there'll be one little Gone with the Book at the end. We'll see what happens. So I've not made a big TBR, but I am participating in 2 readathons. One is Victober, which takes place all month, and then Gone with the Book, which takes place the last week of the month. So anyway, I'll start with Victober. I'm going to show you 3 books that I for sure want to get to this month, at least attempt, and then I will show you a couple possibilities of stuff later. So Victober is hosted by Katie at Books and Things, Ange at Beyond the Pages, Kate Howe, and Lucy the Reader. And I think this is, you know, at least, I mean, I know this is my 3rd year, so I think it's the 4th year of it. So it's pretty cool that it's been going on for a while. October is a great month for all Victorian reads, I think. Anyway, so it's pretty cool. So there are several prompts. There's Ange's prompt, which is to read a female author, and bonus point if it's new to you. She's new to you. Kate Howe's was to reread a Victorian book. Katie's was to read, I think it was 250, a book less than 250 or over 500 over, 500 pages, 500 over. Sorry. And then Lucy's was to read, I think, how does it go? Underrated book published the same year as one of your favorites. So I'm not going to do all those. There's also a prompt about reading by candlelight. I have 2 cats. No candles will be lit in this house. No. They're a little over 4 years old. They're too active. There's just no candles in this house. Anyway, so I won't be doing that challenge. But I will be taking part in the read-along. So they have a read-along on 2 Oscar Wilde plays. Let me check the dates really quick here. So the first one is The Importance of Being Earnest, which will be from October 1st to the 6th. And then A Woman of No Importance will be from the 14th to the 21st. So I've never read any Oscar Wilde plays. I've read The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I might have read a short story or 2, you know, in school and stuff, but I don't remember. I just remember really The Picture of Dorian Gray, which, that reminds me, I think I don't own a copy of that. I was thinking about that the other day, because I'm like, I don't think I haven't owned a copy. I have to find one. Anyway, and I might have one. It's just, I can't see it right now. Sorry. Anyway, so I've never read any of his plays, and I have never seen any of them performed. So this will be interesting. I don't know a lot about Oscar Wilde's writing other than Picture of Dorian Gray, so I'm kind of excited to read something else. For the prompt of a female author, this one I have read before, but also fewer than 250 pages, because this is only 115, is The Foundling by Charlotte Bronte. So this book, my friend gave it to me, let me borrow it. And she gave it to me this summer, and I haven't picked it up because I knew October was coming, so I was kind of hoping she wouldn't notice I still had it until October. So anyway, I'm going to read this. The Foundling is a story that I guess she wrote when she was 19. Or 17. Sorry, she was 17. Well done. Anyway, but it's like a fairy tale. It has to do with a man who was abandoned as a baby and brought up by somebody, and then when they passed away, he found out that that person was not their father, and then goes to find out who he really is. And I guess it's kind of fantastical. So we'll see what happens. I actually don't know a whole lot about this, except she said she enjoyed it, and her and I are kind of opposites on classics sometimes, so we'll see what happens. But I've not heard anybody else talk about this one, so I'm going to do that one. And then the book that I'm probably going to focus most of the month on, just because, let's see here, how long is this book? It looks like it's like it's like 800 and, oh my gosh, it's 880 pages. Was I really thinking this through? But that is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. So this is, of course, the over 500 page book. I participated in the, okay, I started to participate in the serialized read-along by Katie at Books and Things, and she had videos out for each section. So what I'm gonna do is, because I only made it through the first 2 sections, or maybe I made it partway through the third. I can't remember if I finished the third part or not anymore. I took out all my tabs for each section because I was like, no, we have to. I found I could not read serially. Like, I don't know how those people did it and remembered everything, or kept their momentum going. I don't know if I could read a book. I can only have a couple chapters every month. I don't know. I don't know. It was hard for me. So I found that serial reading is not that good for me. Anyway, so I want to go back and I might reread the 130 pages that I already read, or I might just skim them here and there to remember things, but I think I'm going to probably reread them and try to finish this book out because I want to watch all her videos because they were fantastic on detail. So if you've read Bleak House, definitely go watch Katie's videos on all the on this book, but I want to be able to watch them all, but I have to read the book. So this is going to be my main focus for Victober. So, and as I said, that doesn't cover all the prompts, but it's the ones I'm going to choose. So just real quick, I'm going to, Gone with the Book readathon, again, as I said, the last 7 days of the month. That's put on by Mel at Mel's Bookland Adventure, and it's to read early 20th century works, so anything between 1900 and 1950. I think it's supposed to be before that, 1950. So I'm going to read Dragonwyck by Ange. One of my subscribers and I were talking about reading this. She had mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, I've always wanted to read. And I found the book on vacation for $2, and it's a UK version from 81. And my cats are attacking my jacket. Anyway, we'll just continue. It's been interesting so far. Anyway, today's film. Anyway, so I don't know a whole lot about this. I think Dragonwyck is a house, and in the countryside in 1843, this woman Miranda goes there, and it's supposed to be. She thinks it's going to be this great thing, and clearly not. I don't know anything else about it, so I'm kind of going into this pretty blind. So I'm hoping to enjoy this. As I said, I'll pick this up at the end of the month for Gone with the Book. This book was first published in 1943. Sorry, I know I mentioned what publication this edition is 81, but it was first published in 45. So that does count. Sorry. I said that wrong. Anyway, so we're going to read that. Anyway, it's historical fiction in the Victorian period. I think that counts. It's as close as like it kind of works, right? Anyway. So real quickly, I'm going to just mention a few books that are the next ones I would pick up for Victober if I have a chance. There a couple books are ones I've already started. Yeah, well. So Barrios Attackers by Anthony Trollope. This is book 2 in the Barsetshire series chronicles. I've read The Warden, which I read 2 years ago. Oh, my cats are destroying the poles for the hoodie. Anyway, so this book is as I said, it's more about the countryside and the people in that Barsetshire, and the warden. They kind of have some church politics with people who live in the area and how it all kind of relates between those people and that. And it's just this one has to do with a new bishop comes into the area, and it's kind of how he looks at things on his elevation to be a bishop, and the people who kind of attach to him and who are against him or against the people he brought with him. So it's all very, but it was very interesting, very odd people. And everybody has opinions, and some people say things and then like everybody gets mad about it. It's just, so it was so good. I read the first 100 pages and I was really enjoying it. So I do want to go back and finish that one. I do want to pick up one Wilkie Collins, hopefully this month. But I have to put this as a maybe because again, I'm focusing on the other ones. But if I pick up a Wilkie Collins, it'll be The Haunted Hotel. And this also has The Dream Woman in it. So I will try to read both of those. I'm hoping, because this is only 260 pages. a little longer than I thought. But anyway, so I don't know anything about them except they're supposed to be kind of spooky. And it's Wilkie Collins. So we'll see. Hopefully. As I said, I have too much stuff on my bookshelf of his. I can't buy any more until I read some. So that's why I want to get to that. If I do want another spooky read, I have 2 novels by Charlotte Radel. I did say her name wrong in my video. Sorry. I did a Victober recommendations and possibilities video. If you have not seen that, please watch that. I have a lot of books that I want to read. Anyway, this is called Haunted Houses. It has fairy water and the uninhabited house. So this would go for the woman new to me author. I would like to read this, but as I said, there's 2 novels in here, so maybe I'll get around to one of them at least, but we'll see. As I said, I tried to get some spooky reads in here too, but again, these are possibilities. I can't guarantee I'm going to read any of these. I'd also love to finish Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. I started this back in March, and because it's been so long, I can't even recall what I was reading. Like I read it in 2 little segments. Like I was trying to read a little bit every day, and that just does not work for me. Clearly, serial reading does not work for me. I read 1 book at a time usually. So I'm going to go back and reread this because I read 64 pages. I don't remember much. I mean, I have a few vague memories of the beginning, and then I don't remember a lot. So I want to read this again. And this has to do with, says, disillusioned trade unionist. She rejects one lover for another, and I don't know. There's a lot of drama, and her dad's involved in a lot of stuff, and I don't know. It's not really, like, as I said, when I was reading it, it was not really focused on Mary Barton, but her dad and other people in her community. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this to read more Elizabeth Gaskell because I have not read enough. But the very last thing I want to just kind of put out there, if I pick up an audiobook, I did buy the one for North and South. And so North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. The audiobook is narrated by Juliet Stevenson. So Audible has it as a deal right now for, I think, at the editor's choice. For $6.95. So I just paid it. I just was like, well, I might want to listen to it. So I'm going to listen to it the second time as a reread if I have a chance. Because I really want to reread this book, and because I really loved it. I read it a year and 4 months ago or so. I'd really like to read it again, but I don't have time this month to physically read it with everything I want to read. But it'd be nice if I could reread it by listening to it and enjoy it. I think I have listened to, I think I'll listen to a Jane Austen book by her. I can't remember for sure. But the narrator sounded good when I just listened to the very beginning. And I was like, well, so that's a possibility. I'm not saying I'm going to read that. So really, the books that for sure I'm going to read are these ones. So for Victober and then Gone with the Book. So are you guys participating in Victober, or are you participating with Gone with the Book? What are you guys reading? Any of these are you reading, or do you think that I should switch my stuff up and read some of the other books? We'll see. I have a lot of books to choose from, so that's why I picked small selection. I want to read it all though. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, happy reading into Victober. I hope you guys pick some good books and tell me all about them. Okay? Bye.